Hello, welcome to the Business Mind Podcast. This is episode 2. I'm your host, Nima Pirian. This is my guest, Michael Newman. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
I'm just going to ask you a couple questions about the current real estate in Southern California. So my
Sounds
first
good.
question is, what do you think the best place in LA is to buy real estate?
Well, if you're starting off buying real estate and you're not starting off with a lot of money in hand, I would say that you shouldn't start in places that are more affluent because it's going to be hard to invest.
Yeah,
You're going to have to, take money from the bank, and then you're gonna owe loans to the bank. It's going to be a big deal. And even if you once you make the money back, it's not the full amount you could have made if you just started somewhere in the outskirts of LA, for example,
yeah,
in other places that are not as expensive. So I would say maybe you can start in places like Northern California, maybe even like, suburbs outside of Santa Barbara area.
yeah.
I think that would be a good place to start. And then once you sell a few houses, units of apartments or whatever, you slowly come back into Beverly Hills if you want to, make more money on your transactions. And once you have enough money, you're gonna slowly build your way back, to the market and become big, hopefully.
And do you think Beverly Hills is a short-term or long-term investment to buy a house?
Well, if you're looking to live in Beverly Hills, I definitely think it's a long-term investment. A lot of people who live here, they'll buy a house and they'll even they'll be here for generations.
Yeah.
They'll live there, then they'll go to like another house later, and maybe their parents will move into their old house, and then eventually their parents want to go somewhere else, so they'll sell the house and
Yeah.
they will do a little bit of renovation right before prior to moving out, so they can up the value of their house and sell it for the maximum price. And so yeah, it's definitely a long-term investment in the city of Beverly Hills.
And do you think with the metro coming in Beverly Hills in the next 5 years, do you think that's going to be a big hit? Do you think
Yeah,
a
I
lot of
definitely.
properties are going to go down?
What was the second part?
Do you think like property prices is going to go down?
Yeah, I definitely think once the metro is built, there's going to be parts of Beverly Hills that are going to be less desirable, specifically maybe near the metro stops. It's
Yeah,
typically that's just natural for the the real estate market to kind of there's going to be an effect, and
yeah,
that station it's going to be less desirable to live. So for example, on that street, maybe two streets over and two streets, like east and west, it's going to be it's a place that not many people want to be on because of the fact that there's going to be tons of people coming every day, walking on the sidewalk, going to the station. It's going to be very commercial, and no one really wants that
it's going
feeling
to be a problem.
of being, around commercial property. If they want commercial, they'll go live on Wilshire Boulevard and get a high rise there. But there's a reason why people want to live in the flats or live, on Rodeo Drive, Cannon, Beverly, even in places like near Horseman where there's, they're not huge houses, but it's still very like
Very
residential.
quiet area.
Yeah, and you have like that community feeling. Even if the house is not huge and it's not a
Yeah.
expensive house, maybe it's like 2-3 million, but you still have that community feeling. Houses are very close to each other. Everyone knows each other on the street. If a metro comes, you don't even know who's walking on your street. It could be
Exactly.
just an innocent person going to work and just class, or it could be someone trying to eventually rob your house. You don't know. So
We
there's
don't know.
definitely gonna be more crime. That's not even a question.
And do you think with the metro coming, you think house prices, for example, in Calabasas, Bel Air, Newport Beach, Malibu, you think they're going to skyrocket because more people from the nice areas of Beverly Hills is going to move over there after the metro?
Honestly, what I think is if people in Beverly Hills are, fed up with the conditions, I don't even think they'll go to like a nice place like Malibu or Calabasas. I feel like they'll just go to a suburb of California or maybe even like Texas because anyways, the situation in like big cities like New York and Los Angeles is already so crazy that people are,
Yeah,
as we speak, are moving from Manhattan and from places like LA and into, states like Texas and the
yeah.
West and New Jersey and all these quiet places because
You think they're moving there because of like the political standpoint or because you can get like a 5 bedroom house in Houston, Texas for like 1 million?
yeah, I think a lot of it is just people might not feel as safe anymore in big cities and they want to have their tranquility and their peace, in the suburbs.
Yeah.
I feel like that if that's what they want, they can get that exact desires in suburbs where they don't have to be bothered by sound and crazy people. They're secluded from society.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't personally, I wouldn't like that because I kind of need a somewhat busy city, but also like I need to be in a residential place. But I like being close to, having access to places like Beverly Drive where I can actually see a bunch of people. I don't want to live
Yeah.
in like a random desert and drive half an hour to go to a mall or like an
Yeah.
outlet.
And my final question is, are you involved with any like real estate club, any like internships you do?
Yeah, so actually I've been the president of the real estate club at Beverly for 2 years now.
Very nice.
And we've had numerous speakers at our club at lunch. Last year when we were actually in school before COVID, we had multiple speakers come in at lunch to the classroom. They would speak. We would have Dieterich's cookies for all the students who came, and they went really well. And students actually just they actually wanted to know more about real estate. It's a very popular thing, especially in Beverly Hills. It's Beverly Hills. We're known for the houses, so
Yeah.
a lot of people have like at least a parent or uncle or aunt or someone involved in real estate, so they somewhat have an idea, but they want to. A lot of people are eager to learn.
And want to know more.
Yeah, I'm not an expert on real estate either. Every day I'm learning more and more, and I'm researching, and every time I get more and more interested. But yeah, so I have the real estate club, and actually in 2 weeks we're gonna meet with Josh Flagg, who's one of the top.
Oh, very famous guy.
Yeah, he's like one of the top real estate agents in Beverly Hills. So his agent he has like an agent that plans his
Yeah.
like schedule and stuff. So she confirmed that we're going to be doing an interview with him in 2 weeks, and it's going to go live on KBEV, and so eventually it's going to be on Zoom, and then it's going to be published on Spectrum. So like 10,000
Oh, that's good.
people are going to see the interview.
That's nice.
So yeah, there's that, and then after that we're going to ask he has a friend who's also in real estate, and they're both on $1 Million Listings, the show.
Yeah.
It's Josh Altman, so we're gonna email him after actually. So we're hoping to have him speak at our club as well.
I wish the best of luck.
COVID, yeah, during COVID, a lot of people have more time, so it was very easy to get him to come.
Are you going to be doing it over Zoom?
Yeah, it was probably easier than usual because everyone's already in their house.
Yeah.
So it's a big plus in a way. There's a lot of as much as we think like this situation is bad, it is bad, but there's also some
good on it. Yeah. So I want to thank Michael Newman for coming to the show, and please subscribe, and we can post the next Business Mind podcast number 3. Please like and subscribe, and have a good day.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.